Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is 31 Facts in 31 Days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this is day 7. We're going to talk about our sponsor, who is Michael Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has been sponsoring the show from the beginning. He was there with the groundwork, and they have been supporting me, and it is still going strong. And they have a special message for us, so take a listen.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Warriors Talk is getting ready to have our 6th annual Survivors Night of Reflection Gala. It will be taking place on Saturday, October the 22nd, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall, located at 7941 West 47th Street in McCook, which is not too far from Chicago. If you are a cancer survivor, then your cost is free. All you have to do is register. If you are not a survivor, your cost is $40, and it's to help us to pay for the cost of the event. We will be awarding a Survivor of the Year, a Community Service Award, a community, actually a caregiver award. So this is for someone who is taking care of an individual, just unselfishly giving themselves to someone who is dealing with cancer. So you could be doing it presently, or it could be something you have done in the past. We just need someone to nominate you, nominate that Survivor of the Year, nominate that Community Survivor of the Year, the caregiver. And then also, if you know someone who needs financial help while they're fighting cancer right now, we will be awarding a Warrior in the Battle recipient. We just need you to email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com with a couple of sentences and their name, letting us know why you feel they should benefit from this financial gain. We are also looking for sponsors and vendors. You can go to Eventbrite, type in Survivors Night of Reflection Gala so that you can come. If you want to be a vendor, it's $50 for you to display your stuff. It also, your products or your merchandise, it also includes the meal, right? So you pay $50, you get the table, you get to display and sell your stuff, and it also includes the meal. If you would like to be a sponsor, we have the silver package, which is $100, the gold package, which is $250. And then we have the event package, which is the event sponsor for $750. And some of the stuff that it includes is you get a table for 8. Each person gets a swag bag. They get a gift. You actually get to speak at the event. You have a table to display your merchandise as well. So there's so many things that come with that. You get 6 months of advertising with Warriors Talk, and you also get to be a guest on the Warriors Talk radio show. So join us. Go over to Eventbrite and purchase your ticket and come and celebrate with us. We just announced our speaker, who is Dion M. Davis, an amazing woman, cancer survivor, motivational speaker, author, influencer, and she's going to be coming talking on our theme, which is a season to emerge. You don't want to miss it. All right, you guys, joining me, co-hosting with me is none other than 13-year breast cancer survivor, cancer advocate, Angela Gilliam. Hey, Angela.
Hello, Warriors Talk.
How are
Hi,
you?
ReShell. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Good. It is great that you're here. I am so excited. This is day 7 of 31 Facts, 31 Days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we are giving them the facts. So let's just jump right into the conversation. And our topic for tonight is breast cancer facts doctors might not tell you. These are some things that you may not hear that comes out of a doctor's mouth.
Yes.
So I'm going to jump right in, Angela, and then you can come behind me if you have one. and talk about it. I'm gonna go with lymphedema. Doctors will not tell you about lymphedema, even though they know that they are removing lymph nodes from your body. That is not a conversation that they're going to have with you to let you know what's going to happen once they do that, when you have that surgery. So what is lymphedema? This is a painful swelling that can happen after surgery or radiation to your lymph nodes because the lymph fluid does not drain as well as it should. So it builds up in your hand, your arm, or your chest. And for those of us who deal with lymphedema, we have to wear on our arm, I have to wear a sleeve, and I'm supposed to wear it all day, every day until I go to sleep. And this is for the rest of my life. That is the way to manage it, because there is no cure for lymphedema, right? If you start treatment right away, then it can help you manage some of those side effects.
Other risk factors they don't tell you about is how subjective you are to getting like diabetes. Definitely diabetes. There were so many others in my head. Now my brain went bloop.
Okay, so you're saying that it opens you up for other ailments to happen to you.
Yes, definitely. Other diagnosis to
So
other
they're not discussing that.
health problems. No, they're definitely not telling you that. So that's why it's most important that we advocate for ourselves and ask those questions. And then there are many of us who might not know.
That's true. That's true. And I believe that's why a lot of these organizations do exist, because most of the information that I've gotten when I was going through is from another survivor, from them going through and finding out information from another survivor. It's like you have to find out this stuff just going through it. As you're going through it, we're finding out things versus the doctor. Like, I really feel like it should be a course, Angela. When they give you a cancer diagnosis, I feel like there should be some type of class that you should have to go to and say, okay, now you have been diagnosed, you go through this course. It's going to tell you everything that you're going to be dealing with at every stage of the treatment and beyond. No, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen at all. And like I say, we have to advocate for ourselves. And also, it depends on the kind of physician that you have. Some physicians are going to forewarn you about other things that you're subjective to, other diagnoses you're subjected to receiving because your body has been, through all these different side effects from the chemo, from the radiation, and you're not the same in your body, period. But like you say, lymphedema, the diabetes, the neuropathy is very severe. As I was on Instagram meeting a lot of women from other groups and other survivors, I met one young lady. She and I was talking about neuropathy, and her neuropathy was so severe. She was a professional model. Her neuropathy was so severe till it had caused her to have to be in a wheelchair for a little while.
Wow.
And everyone thinks neuropathy is something that's real minute, but it's really not. It could be very, very severe. As I say, the young lady that I was talking to and that I met on Instagram.
Neuropathy, I don't get it that often, but when I normally get it when I'm driving, like if I'm stationary for a long time. If I'm stationary for a long time, then I tend to get neuropathy. And or when I'm like a lot of times when I'm laying in my bed. If I'm laying in my bed, if I'm just like laying there, then I'll tend to get it. But I've noticed like when I'm really active, I don't. It's only when I'm kind of like stationary a lot is when I get it. And I know it's different for everybody, but
I was about to say it affect everyone in a different kind of way.
But did the doctor warn me about it? No.
No.
I just one day it happened and I was like, what is this? Like it's like
Yes.
really crippling to your
Yes.
whatever part of the body it's gonna happen in. It's like
Yes.
you gotta wait for it to pass. It's like nothing you can do about it. You have to wait for it to pass. So yeah, neuropathy is one of those things that I pray I don't wish it on anybody, not on my worst enemy. It's not a good thing to have because you can't really control when the episodes are gonna happen.
And then like with me, I have it. It's like constant in my hands, and sometimes up to my elbows, and I am like in severe pain constantly. Just not my hands and my feet are just completely numb all the time. Till sometime majority of the time, I'm in severe pain. So I learned to like it's a psychological thing that I just normally just block it out, but sometimes I can't block it out, and it just sometimes takes over. I move around a lot, and when it uh comes on my feet real severe, I lose my balance a lot, even when I'm walking or playing around with my kids, even though they are adults or my nieces and nephews, the younger ones. It has a tendency to overtake my balance in my feet up
Wow.
to my ankles, like, so it's very severe. Even in nighttime when I'm asleep, I'm like sleeping for 2 hours, and then the next thing I know, here come this
Yeah.
pain, and I'm up like ding clockwork, bing 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 bing, because I can't take the pain, and so it interferes with my sleep. So it's
Yeah.
severe. At first, I was a little ashamed because I'm like, okay, am I the only one with this? And then I met other women by talking to them, on Instagram and or just different uh, groups and meeting different survivors. So I didn't feel alone or think like, oh, am I the only one like this? So yes, it's
Right.
very real, very severe, very real. And like you say, it affects others differently in all kinds of ways. Because it took me a long time, to say anything to anyone about it because I'm feeling like, hey, am I crazy? Is something wrong with me? But it wasn't. So,
And I think that's why it's important for us share to share our stories, to talk to other survivors, encourage them, give them hope, because there are going to be some things that come up that you're dealing with, like you said, and you don't say anything to anybody because you're like, okay, what's happening? Why is this happening? And you don't know. And then you talk to somebody else and they're like, girl, I got neuropathy the other night. My feet, I couldn't even move it. It kind of cramped up on me. And you're like, wait a minute. That's what's happening to me. So it's called neuropathy. Oh, okay. Like, it's so important just not to keep this journey to yourself, even if you don't want to talk to like your family members, because sometimes people can be nosy and they just there to be nosy. They're not really there because they care about you. They just there to be
right.
nosy.
Yes,
So,
they are. Definitely.
but
Bring the negative vibes
yeah, talk to your
and not
survivor
really
sisters.
understanding. Right.
Talk to your survivor sisters because they have been through it, so they know. Find you a good group. I ain't saying you got to have a group of 20. You can have a group of 5, group of 2, people that you talk to that has been through the same thing that you've been through, that you feel comfortable telling them, like what's going on. And ultimately tell your doctor, this is what I'm
Yes.
feeling. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, so yeah, that's one of the side effects that you're gonna get. And you just like, what? You couldn't tell me this before. Like there was no pamphlet or nothing you could have given me to be like, hey, watch out for this video or something I could have watched.
I've
Yeah.
always felt like that there should be information classes. It might sound strange, but I think that there should always be some kind of information classes as to where these are the things that we could become subject, to after we've gone through the treatment, or whether it be chemo or radiation, or whether it be both. I've always felt like there should be some kind of class,
Right.
or even, like you say, a support group, you
Right.
know.
And right, that's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, soon as they give you the diagnosis, now, okay, when you get your chemo, they don't let you take the chemo until you watch this video. You have to watch this chemo video. Well, I had to. Before I took the chemo, they had me and my mom to sit and watch this chemo video. So I knew what was going to happen, what I was getting ready to encounter. So, okay, soon as they diagnose you, okay, they should have a class with other survivors in there that has been through it too, doctors, nurses, whatever. They teaching you about the different steps, and every time you got to go to a different phase. So if it's you just got diagnosed, this is your introduction class. You got to get chemo, this is your chemo class. You got to do radiation, this is your radiation. Surgery, these are the different surgeries that you can have. These are different chemos that we have. This is a side effect class. It's just about side effects because there's so many of them. These are the potential things that can happen to you, and this is what you should do if you experience any of these things. Now there's a class when you're done with treatment. Where do I go from here? How do I, it's just not done. The doctors just deal with treating, giving you the cancer treating medicines, and that's it.
To
That's
me, I think they should talk about the emotional part of it because it's very important. Your
yes.
mental, your
Hmm.
mental, your emotion. That's so important. And some people, they don't have that. They don't know where to go from, after treatment. And a lot of people think that, oh, that's just, you'll get over that. It's nothing serious. You're okay. No, because everyone is not the same.
True. I,
So I think that should be, um
it
not,
should
I would say
it
it should
should be at
be
the beginning of
flat.
the treatment. As soon as you're diagnosed, they should say, okay, here's your treatment plan, and here
Mhm.
is your go see a counselor. This is your referral to go and see a counselor. Before you start treatment, go and talk to a counselor, get your appointment set up. Whenever you have treatment, you should have a counseling appointment too that follows that treatment.
Yes, definitely.
You treat the whole spirit, not just the physical,
Hmm.
but the holistic. You treat the whole person, the whole spirit,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's not happening. It's like you pumping these toxins in my body, and then you just send me home to deal with whatever comes in my mind, and and you're not catering to that, and that's why a lot of people probably, I believe, have a hard time in treatment, is because you're not catering to everything. You're only catering to that one thing, which is the physical.
Definitely. And there are some people who develop hypertension after going through treatment, and they can be clean and healthy. I was asked my physician, um, does size matter? Exercise? He goes, all that matters, but you can have the healthiest person in the world, and they can still have hypertension. You know, so that's one of the things that they one of the diagnoses that's not talked about after, is hypertension because you're stressing and you're worrying. You're looking at yourself saying, oh, I don't look this way. I don't feel this way like I used to because you have taken on a whole new form in your body. And people think that that is nothing really. Oh, you'll get over that. Or it's just nothing serious. You'll bypass that. No, no. Here's my thing. If you have not walked those shoes, you cannot say that you're going to get over it so easily. No, it's mental. And it also deals with prayer and all of the rest of the, things that come with going through that whole breast cancer or any kind of cancer because some people change your color, your hair. Sometimes everyone hair doesn't come back. Sometimes people eyebrows doesn't come back. Some people lose their eyelashes. So it's so many different things that come along with that. So I definitely believe in the counseling before and after and after breast cancer, especially after, because you're looking at yourself and you're feeling a whole totally different way from what you've, you know, felt before this happened to you. So definitely is a mental and emotional effect.
The,
Anyone who says it's not, mm,
yeah, I always believe
woohoo, she roll, you know.
I always believe like how can you treat this physical body and then not care about my mental, what's going on? Like
Right.
you're giving somebody some devastating news that would normally take individuals out, normally would be a death sentence. Soon as you mention the word cancer to somebody, it's like their whole body just go into this state of shock. And it's like, and you don't want to give me any help to get my thoughts out in my mind to process this with a person. And the type of counselor that you should go to is a counselor that deals with people with cancer, not just any old counselor, but somebody who
Right.
actually, has experience dealing with somebody who has dealt with cancer. If the doctor doesn't offer it, and 9 times out of 10 the doctor may not, unless you express to the doctor, oh, I'm depressed, I feel like I'm going to commit suicide, I don't think I'm going to make it, I don't want to make it, then they may say, okay, well, let's refer you to, seek some counseling. But if you don't say any of those things to the doctor, they're not going to initiate it, because they're not there to treat the mental. They are trained to treat the physical, and they're going to focus only really on that physical unless you bring it up.
And
So
then
you
sometimes you do have some physicians that ask you how you feeling, not just in your physical, and they ask you how you're feeling in your mental. They ask you how you're feeling in your emotion, your mental and your emotional side of this. So, we have to not be so prideful or so puffed up and say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm dealing with it." No,
be honest.
definitely be upfront.
We have a hard
Yes,
time being honest when we go to the
yes,
doctor. It's like
yes.
you're paying for this person to see about your well-being. If anything is going on, in order for the doctor to address it, they have to know what it is. So with African Americans, we feel like people will label us as crazy if we're going to see a counselor.
Hello.
No, that's for your own emotional well-being.
It
Take,
is.
take care of yourself. And who cares if somebody puts a label on there? All that matters is that you have peace and your mind is not going crazy and you're able to rest at night. It's for your peace of mind, not anyone else's. So forget the label and go seek help. So another thing that the doctor is not going to tell you is about neutropenia. What is that?
Mm,
This happens when you have very low levels of neutrophils, which is a white blood cell. It makes it harder for you to fight infections. And this is something that they should
yeah.
tell you, right? This is one of the serious side effects of chemo that we all probably deal with, but didn't know what was happening at the time because they didn't tell us about it. And then when we got there, they're like, "Oh, your white blood cell count is really low." And it's like, okay, well, should I have been told this was going to happen? And what should I do? Should I call a doctor when I'm feeling this way? But they don't. It's almost like it's a secret. Like these side effects and stuff are a secret. Like,
Yes.
why shouldn't we know if this is happening? If this is my body and you're putting these toxins in my body, I should know every side effect there is that's going to happen. Whether it happens to me or not, I should be aware of it.
There should be like you say, there should be a booklet, a pamphlet to explain to you, hey, after treatment, this is what your body is so open to, being subjective to. One, 2, 3, 4, bam, 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 other bullet points, you know. But like you say, some physicians, they only think about the physical and not the mental and emotional. I wouldn't say all, but majority of some. And that's why I say, if you're not feeling your greatest mentally or emotionally, open up your mouth. Tell your physician. Don't just let them think you're okay. I'm Super Armstrong. I'm Wonder Woman. There's no such thing. If it's there and you need to deal with it, deal with it. Open your mouth because nothing will happen. Closed mouth will not be fed if you don't open it.
One of my biggest things about what the doctors don't tell you is about fertility. I have met so many young women, young, who
Mhm.
have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and the doctors never mention anything to them about fertility. And then once the treatment, they rushed them into treatment, and then once the treatment was over, they started like, oh well, I want to have a baby, what are my chances of having a baby? And it's like, you don't, no chances, because we just put you through this treatment, and the treatment that we put you through, it's caused you not to have any kids. So fertility is not one of those things that's discussed by doctors. And they said in any kind of cancer care, the doctors are not discussing fertility. And one of the reasons why I believe that they're not is because if they told people up front that if you want to have a baby, you need to do it now, because we're about to give you this treatment. And if we give you this treatment, you may not be able to have babies after. I think a lot of women would be like, I'm going to have my baby first and take my chances and then I'll worry about this cancer afterwards. I think a lot of women will go ahead and take their chances and have a baby and then deal with the consequences after. I think, I just feel like the doctors it's deceitful, it's manipulative, and it's deceitful that this conversation is not had, especially if you're a woman of childbearing age.
Yes, yes,
I should have that
definitely.
conversation.
Yes, it really should. It really should.
And it's so disheartening. Okay, let me know if you want to have kids, go ahead and freeze your eggs before we get into treatment. Go freeze your eggs, so that in case you can't have any babies afterwards, because we're about to give you these toxins. Like, don't take that right away from me without having that discussion with me. It's, yeah. I feel so bad when I hear the women say, well, I wanted to have a baby, but you know they rushed me into treatment, and then I found out afterwards that I couldn't have kids.
Right. It's very disheartening. Very. And then there are some women who become a fertility bank that still can have baby after baby after they received chemo or radiation, one or the other or both. And some women are still able to have babies, and that's a blessing within itself, and have no complications or anything wrong with their baby.
Yes, I think it depends on what chemo they give you, because my doctor asked me. Now my doctor did ask me. She said,
Mhm.
do you plan on having any more babies? Because the chemo that we're going to give you, you can't have babies with this
Right.
after we give it to you. So if you're planning on having babies, we'll give you a different type of chemo. So, I was like, oh wow. I was like, I ain't planning on, I have 5 babies. I'm not planning on having any more. So that's fine. I'm good. But the fact that she asked me that before I went into treatment,
Right.
that
Right.
that lets me know that, okay, she cares about the human
Yes.
part of it, and not just pumping this medicine,
Physically.
this toxins in me.
Right.
Doctors,
Right.
if you're a doctor and you hear this conversation, you need to ask your patients, how dare you, how selfish of you, how manipulative of you not to ask that question when you have a person who's of childbearing ages. Ask the freaking question. Give them
Yes.
options. Give them
Right.
their options. Let them decide. Tell them, okay, if you have this baby, there's a chance that cancer may spread all over your body. There's a chance that you may die. If they want to take that chance, that's between them and God.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely between them and God.
Another thing,
Definitely.
another thing they don't tell you is about reoccurrence. They're not having this conversation. This conversation
They're
is
not having that conversation too much.
not unless you going to the doctor and you having some issues, and they may think it's a reoccurrence and they're testing you. Other than that, they're not having this before. When you're done with treatment, they're not saying, all right, now you're done with treatment, you're in. They say remission, I say heal. They're not saying, okay, now let's talk about reoccurrence since you're done with treatment. Let's talk
Yes.
about how you're gonna move forward, with your life after everything that we just done. No, they're not doing that. And even with like the tamoxifen that they give women that takes, they said that sometimes, a lot of times within 15 to 20 years, the cancer comes back. But they don't tell you that. But they
Right.
want you to take that tamoxifen.
That's why they say take it for the next, is it 5 to 10 years?
I think it's 5 years for a lot of people.
Okay.
They have you take it for 5 years. So yeah, you know why? Because they know that the cancer would, it normally will come back within that first 5 years. So they'll say, okay,
Right.
take it for the first 5 years. So they know it won't come back, I guess, as long as they're taking it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they're not telling you that down the line that this cancer may come back or it may metastasize somewhere else. And they said, even if you had a low grade, slow growing tumor, you still have a chance of a reoccurrence.
Yes, yes.
Any
It
type
could
of
go
cancer
somewhere else.
diagnosis, yes, any type of cancer diagnosis that you have had, you still have a chance of that cancer returning.
Yes.
So they don't want to have this conversation, because this conversation, number one, it's an emotional conversation, because who wants to hear you need to
Definitely.
watch for a recurrence? Who wants to hear that? And the doctors don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to be involved emotionally like that.
None whatsoever.
Another one is prevention.
Yes.
They're not talking about prevention. Why? Because there's a lot of guilt that comes along with a cancer diagnosis, with the treatment, and then you want to talk to me about prevention when you don't even know how to prevent it. You don't know how to prevent cancer. Because if you did, then we would be having this conversation. We would be
Right.
having the conversation. All right, now you are out of treatment. These are the things that you need to do so that you won't have a cancer diagnosis. Because there's no cure for cancer, and because they don't know how to cure cancer, they cannot tell you how to prevent. They can tell you how to have early detection, what to do to have early detection, but they cannot
Right.
tell you how to prevent.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's
Not at all.
disheartening in itself, that they don't know.
Very much so.
They don't know. All right, and I got one more, because I got to go pick up my babies from the game. Nutrition.
Nutrition. Yes.
This is such a big one, Angela, that I
Yes,
feel
it is.
like this should be along with treatment, like every step of the way. What you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating,
Yes.
especially now that we know that sugar has a direct link to cancer. Your doctor should be telling you why you in treatment. Okay, no, stay away from any sugar. Don't overload on sugar. We know that sugar is in everything that we eat.
Yes.
Just,
Yes. Yes.
don't overload on it, because cancer cells gravitate to the sugar.
Yes.
So because they only take a semester of nutrition, so they're not taught to treat you with food. They're not taught to heal with food. So
None at all. That's
no,
why they're not so keen on you seeing a herbalist. Oh, they're not this, and they don't do this, and they're I'm going to, because we had herbal medication before there were physicians.
they don't even want you taking your herbal medication while they're giving you their medication. They're like, no, just hold off on it until you're done with treatment, because we don't want it to interfere with treatment. We don't know how it's going to react with treatment.
Right, definitely. Definitely they do that.
And how dare you become cancer free using some herbal stuff and not our stuff? How dare you?
Definitely.
Then they can't use you in their statistics and say, we treated her with this, and in
Right.
5 years she was still cancer free. They can't use you with their statistics after they used you as I'm gonna say, guinea pig. So they don't talk about nutrition. There is no one diet, no superfood, no vitamin, no drink that cures cancer. Not. just gonna say it.
It's not.
You can eat healthy. You should eat healthy. You should have a healthy lifestyle, healthy choices. But trust me, if there was one thing that we could eat, vitamin that we could take or drink, everybody that had cancer, we would be loading up on it.
Yes.
Have stock in it and everything.
Yes. Stop.
You know, like
Definitely. Yes. Yes. Yes,
it's
indeed.
it's okay to select healthier choices because overall it's gonna make you feel good overall. But
Yes.
I wish there was some sort of food or diet. I know that they say the keto diet is really good to eliminating sugar. And it's the closest diet to keeping you clean, should I say.
Yes.
So you just have to figure out what's right for you, what's healthy for you, and
Right.
do that because for whatever reason, my babies are calling me because they are ready to be picked up because they say it's cold outside. They say it's cold outside. They playing football, so they ready for me to pick them up. So I'll be there to pick y'all up in a minute. So just hold on. So I lost my train of thought. These kids, they ready to go. They had a football game
Nutrition.
and it's cold outside. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, mommy will be there in a minute. I know it's cold outside. I'm on my way, okay? Micah. I'm on my way. Hello? Yes, Micah, I'm on my way. Are you actually on your way? I will be getting in the car in a minute. I know it's cold. Y'all should have worn some clothes. Bye-bye. Yes. They called me because they didn't wear no clothes.
Wow.
Okay, cold.
The bosses are calling.
Yeah. So how they gonna call me to try to hurry me up? Okay, so
Right. On your show, the wardens.
and I was trying to ignore Kayla when she called me, and now Micah calling me back to back. So I had to pick my babies up because they called. But okay, so last thing I wanted to say, Angela, was I know that everybody say, yeah, there's some cures out here. Somebody has to cure the cancer. They just ain't giving it to us. I feel like this is just my personal opinion. I feel like there isn't because God has not allowed it. For whatever reason, God has not allowed it. I do believe people are coming close. I really do believe that. I believe that. And that may be because maybe God, it may be ready or getting ready to release it. But I believe that he's allowing cancer for a reason.
Yes.
For a
That's
reason.
always been my theory. That's always been my thought.
He allowing it for a reason. Because come on. We serve an all-powerful God that can do all things, that created all things. And you mean to tell me that he don't have the cure for cancer?
He has it.
He has it. He
just in his time.
He just haven't given it to one of those researchers yet. You know why? And you know another thing, Angela, because people like to take credit for what God does, right? So if a researcher had the cure, they're gonna be shining a light on that researcher. Oh, he the baddest thing since sliced bread, and God probably will get no glory in it. So God is going to use somebody where he can get the glory out of it.
That's what it is. That's why he said he does all things in his time and not in our time.
Yes. So in the meantime,
to every season.
Yes. So in the meantime, God uses medicine. He uses the doctors to do what they need to do to keep us here. And it has worked because Angela is here 13 years and I'm here. So.
And how many years for you?
Mine is 9 years.
All right.
23 would be 10.
Yes.
So I'm close to 23. Yeah. So yeah.
God is great.
Girl, we have a all-powerful God. You just have to communicate with him and tell him what you want. If you have a cancer diagnosis, he will get you through it. Those low days, those dark days when you feel like you're not gonna make it, I'm telling you, You just call on him and he will wrap you in his arms, and everything that's going around you, around cancer, he will shield you from all of it and bring you out like pure gold. Come on now. Like pure gold.
Yes.
You may look a little
Yes.
different. You may walk a little
Yes.
different. You may talk a little different. You may comb your hair a little different. You may draw
Yes.
your eyebrows in. But guess what? Guess what? You are still here, and God
Living.
still loves you,
Yes.
and He has purpose for you,
Yes.
and that's why you're breathing. All right.
Yes.
Come on, Angela,
If
with some
you
word.
have a pulse, you have a purpose.
Yes, come through, girl. Come on, come on. Come through.
You
Yes,
receive a diagnosis, not a death sentence.
yes. Come on, girl. Preach it. Preach it. I'm gonna take
You
up an
have
offer.
to
I'm gonna take up an
move.
offering for you. I need y'all to leave the offering in the comments for Angela. Okay, I gotta go get my babies. I gotta go get them. It's cold outside. I don't even want to go out there, but I got my.
Tell them next time to put their clothes.
Hello. Next time, where you go, Angela? Oh Lord, Angela left me. Okay, next time, put their clothes on. That's what she was trying to say. All right, you guys. I don't know where Angela went, but I guess she was ready to go. Thank you guys for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. This is 31 Facts in 31 Days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to be giving you the facts all month long. I appreciate you guys. Go over to Eventbrite, purchase your ticket so that you can attend the event, you guys. And so you didn't have to like run away. If you didn't want to be bothered,
I did, and just went on to. I'm like, hey, you interrupt my talk.
I'm just
You
talking.
know
And
how the
you,
devil. You know the enemy gets angry when we talking about the good stuff from the Lord.
that's right. That's right. Well,
You
he
know,
better get you.
he has to interrupt. Let me throw a monkey wrench in there. Boop. Doesn't work like that. Sorry.
No, God. In the end, God wins every time. Every time.
Definitely.
Every time. And you could be a winner. You just got to get on God's side. Just get on God's side.
Yes. It's
What's
the
that song?
best side.
Everything attached to me win. Everything.
Yes.
Everything. Everything
Yes.
attached to God wins. And that's how you have to look at it. Even with a cancer diagnosis, you could still be a winner. Could still be a winner. All right, you guys, I gotta get these babies. You got anything else to say, Angela, before I go?
What a good show. Great show for the past 7 days.
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for day 8. So this
Enjoy
is
the rest of your evening, your night. Be careful going to get those babies and tell them next time, put some clothes on. It's too cute to be cold at a football game.
it's too cold to be cute.
Yeah, you know what I meant to say. I couldn't even get it out right. Because I'm like, what? How come they don't have on any clothes? It's
Girl.
cold outside. It's October. Put your fall gear on. You
Exactly.
could be cute and put on your sweater and that.
I think they had
That's even cuter.
it's right. I love my fall wear.
I love it. Wouldn't change it.
I
I'll
know.
take my fall wear any day over hot summer. Ugh.
Okay, let me go get them before they call me back. All right, you
Okay.
guys. Thank you for we'll be here for day 8 tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to 31 Days, 31 Facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is author and founder Lady ReShell with Angela, 13-year cancer survivor and advocate. Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.